Hi, this weekend I watched Once Upon a Time in the West, the remaining spaghetti western directed by Sergio Leone that I hadn't seen. Originally released in 1968, it's a huge, sprawling story attempting to sum up the western as a whole genre. It's a story with various strands, the main one being that of Jill McBain, a former good time girl married to a widowed rancher in a settlement called Sweetwater outside the town of Flagstone, Arizona, in the Old West. She used to join him at their new homestead, but when she arrives, she discovers that the whole family has been murdered, apparently by a local known outlaw, uh, played by Jason Robards. His name I've forgotten. Cheyenne, played by Jason Robards, but in fact has been perpetrated by Frank, a ruthless killer in the employ of Morton, a railroad magnate, who has plans for the land on which Sweetwater stands. Bain then joins forces with Cheyenne and a mysterious harmonica playing gunman who has an agenda of his own against Frank to take revenge and prevent Morton's plans going ahead. It's a huge story on a big scale. It's a big film. It's 2 3/4 hours, but I thought it was terrific. Um, it's a film that melds the character stories and the character arcs with huge themes about corruption, about the corporatization of the American dream, of the dark underbelly that the country is built upon, um, and the brutality that was needed to uh, create America as it stands. There are great performances across the board. Claudia Cardinale as Jill is superb, even though her role is dubbed. You can see in her face and her movement the performances, even though she used to be later praised upon her command of English. But the three male leads are superlative. Henry Fonda, deliberately cast against type as Frank, the psychotic killer, is cold and ruthless and brilliant. Jason Robards as Cheyenne is charming and sort of agreeably ramshackle, even though it's made very clear that he's an unrepentant murderer. And Charles Bronson as the mysterious. No, thank you. Charles Bronson is the mysterious harmonica playing gunman. Um, is he has that Eastwood style stillness and calmness and control, but there's a difference to his performance. There's a different quality there. The mystery surrounding his character that's very neatly and satisfyingly resolved towards the end. I think works extremely well. And the three men with their relationships, their varying relationships with Jill, I think make it very, very modern. Jill is a strong, no nonsense character. Some of the men might see her as being exploitable and manipulable, but she is strong. She does not give in. She is ruthless in her own way, and rises to the challenge of this environment. Even Cheyenne discovers over the course of the story his conscience in doing something that's right. Having been a bandit and a thief and a murderer, he discovers a cause that he can believe in, that believes is worth fighting for. This one small thing, this one town, this one settlement. There are some superb action sequences. The opening sequence, memorably, the very, very long, slow opening title sequence of three gunmen waiting at a railway station in the middle of the desert, waiting for a train, and eventually the train arrives, and the harmonica player comes off and guns them down. And the idea was that they would be played by the lead actors from Leone's previous film, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach, and Lee Van Cleef, although that wound up not being the case, and they got Jack Elam and Woody Strode to play two of them instead. But there's creative action and sharp, clever dialogue and tense direction. It's a film that is, as I say, it's long. It's 2 3/4 hours, but it never feels long. It's continually engaging, continually exciting, continually fascinating. And when the credit comes up at the end, because the opening titles don't contain the film's actual title, the credit comes up at the end, Once Upon a Time in the West. And you really feel like it's summed up the Western experience of the grime and the grit and the violence, but also the construction of a new future, the civilization of this wilderness, this barren wasteland where nothing could live, is slowly being given life. And I say that in the knowledge that there were people who were there before the Europeans, obviously, but it feels like nothing could live there. And it's deconstructing and reconstructing the myth of the West in a new and original way. It was Leone's intended farewell to the West, although he wound up making another one a couple of years later. A Fistful of Dynamite, also known as Duck You Sucker, or Once Upon a Time, The Revolution. But having now seen 6 of Leone's 7 films, the only one I haven't seen is his early effort, The Colossus of Rhodes, which is a sword and sandal picture. He really is one of the greats. His films are consistently engaging, clever, thoughtful, tense. His ability to combine action with intelligent storytelling and complex characterization, it's almost unparalleled. He is one of the great directors, and it's a great shame, I think, that I've got virtually none of his left to see.